welcome to another unboxing video from theplayersaid.com. My name's Alexander, and today we are taking a look at the glorious Talon and the Talon-1000 expansion that was just put out. This is a game by GMT Games, designed by Jim Crone, who you'll know is the designer of Space Empires 4X, one of mine and Grant's favorite games. Sci-fi, empire building, economy, exploration, going out killing each other with these kind of hidden star fleets. Really cool game. Kind of big, takes a little bit long time to play. This, I don't know if it's set in the same universe or just a similar art style, but a very different type of game. This is a ship-to-ship tactical game. So you have one or two, sometimes more ships, and you literally move around, position them, shoot your various lasers that you've got, blocking the shields. Totally different type of game, totally different type of scale. This is much more close combat. As you can see, all the ships fighting. So what we'll do, we're going to open this in just a second. This is the base game. Take a look inside, see what you get. This has a complexity level of 3, so pretty simple to learn. These are the actual size counters you'll get inside the box. So they're a really good size, and we'll take a look at those when we get in them. But you've got all these different information on them, and this is, you literally move these in big hexes, turn them facing, shoot your lasers, do all that kind of stuff. Really nice and easy. You can play this solo, because there's no hidden information, so you can just play it. But the expansion has like a full AI solitaire bot, so we'll get to that here in a bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to open this up. This is a huge 3-inch box, and there's a good amount of space left in here. So we got rules, got the fun stuff. So there's probably maybe an inch or 3/4 of an inch of space in here. So I'm hoping we can get some trays and things in here. So here's something that's really important. You're gonna get these dry erase pens, because you'll literally draw on the counters, because the counters are kind of laminated, and that's how you're gonna mark certain things. So you get 2 of those, a couple of D6s, and a bag of bags. GMT always includes those. Really nice of them. The rule book is, let's see, 16 pages total, but that last back page isn't really anything. So you get 15 pages of rules, big guns, bases. These are advanced rules, the last few pages. So really you've got 10 pages of normal rules before you can actually set up the game and play it, but we'll see. Here's various different information markers. Tells you how to move and face your ships, charge up your weapons, moving and turning, shooting, firing arcs, things like that. So that's a very small rulebook by GMT standards, so shouldn't be too bad to learn. The playbook is where fun starts, because these are all the scenarios. There's a ton of them. There's a few extra bits and pieces. There's a ton of these. There's rules for playing like a bunch of people playing, not just a 2-player game, which is nice. And you can play these all as a kind of a campaign if you want. You can design your own scenarios, how to do that, how to balance forces, things like that. There's a ton of optional rules as well. And then you've got just kind of some fluff as well of all the different ships. It kind of goes through what you might use them for tactically, but then, and this is the great part, this is what you need, an extended example of play. And a lot of GMT games, the new ones, have these, and it literally says, set up this, and this is how the game's going to go. And this might not be optimal, but it will show you everything that you will ever come across, basically, with a few rare exceptions. So I highly recommend, if you're learning this game, just set this up and play it. Do exactly what it says, and you'll learn, oh, when I do this thing, this is the effect that it causes, and why. So that I really like these. Get yourself kind of a little lifetime score sheet if you want it, random terrain table, and some Empire War ship lists if you're doing kind of campaigns, things like that. And a research chart in the back. So a ton of stuff here. Here we have our kind of ship's log. So you're gonna, let's see. Yeah, power, I'm not sure about all the various rules, but there's a bunch of these. You can photocopy all these. Kind of a ship's log where you can track different damages, things like that. Looks like hull points, things like that. So we have a small sheet of counters, and these are kind of on the grey cardboard, kind of standard for GMT. These are pretty small. I want to say maybe 5/8 of an inch counters. These are very small ones. These you can add shields onto things and a couple of different effects and markers. These are all double-sided. We have some reference cards. So there's two factions in this. There's Terran, which are blue, Talon, which are red. So those are the two kind of aggressors who are fighting each other. Crit damage table, ship movement restrictions with a few examples, things like that. Alright, we have here, this is an Empire war mat. So I think these are the different fights that you might have to go through doing a campaign. Yes, I'm not entirely sure on that one. Single-sided. Talon here. Impulse track. So let's see, you have a round marker on here. And here we have, this is the fun stuff. Here are the ships. And this is what we talked about with these dry erase markers. You can see these are glossy and shiny. And I'm going to compare it to these. These are like a satin, these counters. But these are obviously very, very shiny. And they just take the pen and you mark on them. Because what happens is, you can kind of see here, these punch out very easily. You don't have to worry about these. So this is the SC Voyager. And these all do have pretty cool names on them, which I like. These green are shields. So you've got fore, aft, and you've got starboard and port shields. And when you lose your shields, you cross it out with that dry erase pen. This is your laser gun. Your laser charges, and then so as it charges, you kind of color it in, and then it's ready to fire. You fire it, you wipe it off, it's empty, you've got to charge it up again, then you can use it again. That's pretty much how that works. Other side's a little asteroid field, and you'll look here. These are those random bits and pieces. So you've got Earth, like a nebula void thing, asteroids, things like that. So the ones that you're not using in the game, you'll be using to probably the Talon planet. You'll be using as kind of blocks, because the boards are just basically star fields. But you can see there's a ton of different ships. Some of these have a ton of shields on them. These have huge laser guns. And these ones have kind of smaller weapons on them. You've got Base Hope. There's a bunch of big weapons there as well. So these all have a lot of different things. The red ones, again, are the Talon. But these blue ones, which are the kind of the human ones, I think they've got cool names in it. So Napoleon, Alexander, Zhukov, Patton, Sun Tzu, Caesar. So you got some of the cool war game historical commanders' names on there. Heinz Guderian, Valhalla, Thor, Asgard. So you get into some mythology there as well. I just think I think it's neat that you get that. I think that's pretty cool. It just helps, I don't know, it gives some cool flavor to it. Ace of Spades Squadron, Black Sheep Squadron, Double Down Squadron. I like names of things when they do that kind of stuff. So you got the Hornet and the Wasp, which are all obviously U.S. Navy carriers. And they put that into these. These are also CV units as well. I don't know. I like it when I've got ships that have something neat about them that's relatable. That's not just, this is alien ship number 1. I think that's cool. So in the box we also have there's 2 boards. And these are basically both the same. This is the Talon half map. And as you can imagine, it is half as big. I'm just going to get this one out just so we can see it. The other one is literally exactly the same, just twice as big. It is single-sided, blank on one side, and it is a star field. That is all it is, nothing special about it. This is exactly the same, it's just twice as big. And it's twice as big lengthways. And as we look here, so we have, this is the Tran Roger Young. It fits basically exactly in these large hexes. You're moving around on the board, turning, hitting your power cut up, charging up your shields, shooting your lasers, things like that. That's what the game is. So you're doing that whilst trying to avoid some asteroids, things like that. So then you've got your usual kind of a tactical thing. Okay, I'm attacking around here, attacking around here. Do I set up my defensive units and create a field of fire and then try and strike around this way? How you set these up is kind of up to you or based on the scenario that you play. So that's the game. That's the game in a nutshell, honestly. It's hopefully a simple one to learn. It looks like the rules weren't too bad, so that's pretty exciting. Now, the really cool stuff on top of that, because there's enough game in there for a lifetime. This is the expansion that just came out. This is a much smaller box. This is kind of one of the 1.5-inch boxes. Has a D10 in it. I'm not entirely sure about that because the base game uses the D6s. But this has its own playbook in it. And the important part here is it has the solitaire scenarios. That's a big part of what I'm getting out of this. Sure, there's a ton of extra ships and things, but having a full solitaire, really, really cool. We'll kind of look through here. So the playbook, it has all of the new ships, which it has a bunch of new ships in here. And it has all their rules, but then you've got all the solitaire stuff. Tells you the scenarios and how to balance them, because you can basically make your own ones. This is how many points to put out, here's how to create those, and here's what they do. All the new ships, and then the AI, basically it's a robot empire. It's the literal AI solitaire. That's not just a name for the solitaire bot. They are an artificial intelligence that have created ships, and they're going out into the world, into the universe, destroying, and you got to fight them off. So that's a lot of what this is. Now, these ones are all the new ships, and some of these are all double-sided. Ooh, these are kind of falling. These are almost falling out. And again, like that base game, you get the cool names. So you've got Yamato, you got Bismarck, Yorktown, Waterloo. And you got Nimoy, which is cool. Shout out to him. He passed away. I just really, really neat that they kind of put some. These pop out really easily, which is nice. And they're double-sided, and they're different on both sides, so that you get twice as many ships in this expansion. The grey ones, these are the solitaire ones. These are the BBs, you get battleships, you get CLs, and I think on this side you got destroyers, a lot of those. So the grey ones are the AI, and you just put a bunch of those out. Look, some of these are huge units, and some of them pretty small, weaker ones, and a lot of the DDs are pretty small as well. So there's a ton of stuff to get through here. Just a bunch more of these Talon units, and again, they just fall right out. This is a game that's just pick it up, easy to punch, not going to ruin anything here, which is nice. Got these nice explosions on the back. I don't know if those are like Nebula, but he got some more small fighters, scouts, things like that. So a ton more ships. Literally, this, I think the base game had 4 sheets. This has 4 sheets. But these are double-sided. Remember, these ones had the terrain on the back. So really, you're getting twice as many ships as the base game in just the expansion. So it's a ton of stuff in here. And you get more blades, AI flowchart. So you read all those rules, flowchart helps you out. Talon-1000 power phase as well. Do the following for the AI power phase. So this is nice and easy. 2-sided, 2 flowcharts. I like a solitaire bot that's that simple. And then you've got another Empire or War Mat for the different campaign that they put in this one as well. So a ton of stuff. Because a game that's this simple, a million scenarios, not that difficult to make. And they just give it to you all in one go. Added this to your base game, you got hours and hours of tactical sci-fi fun. So appreciate you guys tuning in. This has been Talon and the Talon-1000 expansion pack. Appreciate you guys tuning in. I've been Alexander from theplayers8.com.